here we are, start of this mighty track.
So pumped. This is the beginning of a great adventure.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Woo! It's remote, it's raw. So it's more than just an outback track, it's a whole story. Made it to Farina. Its history is so layered.
From here on in, it's dirt, dust and camels.
Only in the outback, right? You got to ride the ride. We're hoping to get into Coward Springs tonight for a nice warm mineral spa. Bring it on. Chopped up corrugations, got to be on point. Lake Eyre doesn't get any better than this. Loving Coward Springs, really an outback oasis. Head into the William Creek pub. Boat of Origin's on. This is a luxury, a waterhole in the middle of nowhere. Downtown Oodnadatta, in the middle of the outback.
This country is spectacular.
Staying at Arckaringa Station. See you at the track at the Painted Desert. Never seen anything like it.
Feel the energy in this place.
There's not a lot out here. That's why we love it. It's a feeling that you get. Alrighty, let's go. Hi everyone, we're Pete and Tam. This time we're setting off exploring one of Australia's most iconic tracks, a remote four-wheel drive adventure, an epic outback road trip, a pilgrimage into the back of beyond. Welcome to the Oodnadatta Track. And welcome back to another episode of Artzone Travels Off-Grid Ventures Australia. Out there on the Oodnadatta Track, one of Australia's most remote and iconic four-wheel drive tracks, we take you on an unforgettable journey, exploring all the top things to see from Leigh Creek to the Painted Desert in our off-grid caravan, camping at historic sites, exploring the Old Ghan Railway ruins and sharing the best free camps and travel tips as we venture deep into the heart of South Australia's outback. This adventure takes us from Arckaringa through Beltana to Leigh Creek. Then we camp off-grid at the historic town of Farina. We travel through Maree, absorb in the vastness of Lake Eyre, soak in the natural hot springs at Coward Springs Camp, and camp at the famous William Creek Hotel. We then free camp at Oodnadatta and stop in at its iconic pink roadhouse. Along the way, we explore ruins, camp beside peaceful riverbeds and waterholes, chase sunsets, and take in the wonder of Algebuckina Bridge, all whilst sharing stories of the Old Ghan Railway, Afghan cameleers, and historic outback life. And just when you think it's all over, we take a four-wheel drive detour into the otherworldly Painted Desert, where landscapes have been painted by nature's palette on a grand scale. We camp at Arckaringa Station and soon encounter camels roaming in the wild and red desert mesas that stretch for miles. This episode is packed with our favourite low-cost and free camps, essential travel tips, a good dose of outback history and stunning visual scenery. They call it the heart of the South Australian outback, a trip back in time. Whether you're towing an off-grid caravan, tenting or planning your first outback four-wheel drive road trip, this is one adventure you won't want to miss. We're packed, we're prepped, and the track is calling. Let's get on it. Let's begin by taking you back to where we left off. The old Fettlers' cottages in Arckaringa, where we free camped for a couple of nights. Then we're soon making our way northwards to an old historic outback town called Beltana. So the Old Ghan is a historic railway track that traverses the heart of Australia, connecting Adelaide, South Australia to Darwin in the Northern Territory. The original line, known as the Old Ghan, was constructed to facilitate trade and transport across the vast and arid interior of this country. So we're now heading into Beltana, which is a state heritage listed town in the Flinders Ranges with a deep connection to South Australia's outback history. So it played an important role in the development of the old telegraph line and also the camel transport routes, which later paralleled much of what became the Oodnadatta Track. It's also a hub for Afghan cameleers, whose work was essential in supplying remote regions before the rail and road networks matured. It lies just west of the Old Ghan Railway line, which the Oodnadatta Track closely follows. Though the Old Ghan didn't pass directly through Beltana, the town was tied into the larger infrastructure and supply routes connected to the railway and the telegraph. So guys, I started to touch base yesterday in that we are going to be following along the Old Ghan Railway track all the way up the Oodnadatta. So there's a fantastic brochure I found here in the old pub yesterday, and inside it, it's got a map and it shows us the line that we'll be travelling. So it's going to be a really fun little journey following this sort of outback trail along the way. So the railway's history is filled with extraordinary stories. So women disguising themselves as men to work on the line, derailments caused by extreme weather, and the rise and fall of the townships along the route. Along the trail, interpretive signage reveals the incredible efforts behind the railway's construction, including the vital contributions of Afghan cameleers and Aboriginal people, whose knowledge of the land was absolutely invaluable. And also, thinking about the resilience of those who built and operated this iconic railway. I mean, wow, to push through some of South Australia's most remote and rugged landscapes in doing so, what a feat. So we're camped up not too far away from the old historic pub, and then just beside us here, which I'm walking over to show you now, is the old community hall that's still standing. And in fact, some of the corrugated iron is still original. They've had to replace some of it, but it's so charming. They've got a great facility here at Beltana, so you pay at the pub, you can come and stay here.
And if you go to the Beltana website, and that'll have a link there that'll take you through to where you can book it on HipCamp.
Farewell Beltana, and hello, here we come, Leigh Creek today. So we've got about 9.5 k's to get back out onto the Outback Highway. We're going to turn right and head north. We're going to do some stocking up in Leigh Creek. There is an IGA there, there's petrol and diesel, and we'll have a little break there. We're going to try and move forward onto Farina tonight, but we'll just see how we go, because of course, when you're travelling like this, you just don't know what's going to happen out there on the road or something else that you might want to see. So anyway, the aim is Farina tonight. Okay, so we've just fueled up. We've just filled the tanks with water. And as we were heading up to Foodland, the local supermarket, someone we met at the servo pulls up and goes, "You guys will be staying here tonight. Foodland's closed." So anyway, look, this is what travel's like. You've got to be ready to pivot drop your plans and start anew. So we're on the hunt now for somewhere to stay in Leigh Creek tonight, and we'll hit the supermarket first thing in the morning, being Monday morning.
Bottle shop's open. That's
Well,
all that was.
That's the main thing, isn't it? Okay, so Pete's just jumped on Wiki. We've found somewhere to stay the night.
Yeah, a little place called River Camp. So it's just down the road, a little bit south, and we'll hunker in there. The IGA is opening at 9 o'clock tomorrow, so we'll just chill out for the rest of the day, and as you always say, we've got to change plans as it comes.
It's all good. All right, guys, we shall see you tomorrow. Well, g'day folks. So it's nice and crisp and cold this morning.
It is chilly, it's -2 degrees.
The other thing we're going to do is pop back into the servo. So
Yeah.
we filled up in water yesterday, and look, it's very reasonable, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, look, water is really scarce out here. We were talking about this morning, doing this route through Oodnadatta is like a bit like the Ningaloo. The water, you have to travel quite a long way to get it. So a hot tip, just be really, really on your game. So Leigh Creek, the service station, they've got a tap there, and they just offer a service that, you know, travellers can fill up. And at $7, that is just gold when you're out here, to find a place that's got good water, good pressure. The next place is up at Maree. We'll tell you how that goes.
After we stock up in Leigh Creek, we are heading up to Farina. That's our next campsite. But on the way, there's a small township along that old historic railway line route, and it's called Copley.
Well, I'm hoping there's a bakery there. And I think someone told us there was one.
I think it was John and T. Thanks, guys. Yeah.
So if there is, you know, if you know me, I like a sausage roll. And so
Understatement.
I'm keen.
If I ever lose Pete walking down a street somewhere, I know that he'll be at the bakery. I'll always know where to find him. Okay, so we've just arrived in the small township called Copley, and we're going to hunt down this bakery. Funnily enough, it was only about a 10-minute drive north of Leigh Creek, so we're here already. We'll go and check out this bakery. We'll let you know what the goods are like. And just one little condom pie for tonight. So this was originally known as Leigh Creek Railway Station. It was officially proclaimed in 1891. This station was part of the Central Australia Railway, later known as the Maree Railway Line, and served the small outback town here at Copley. Here we are, start of this mighty track.
Can't wait to get on it. We're so pumped. This is the beginning of a great adventure.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Woo! Okay, so we've made it to Farina. Really excited. We were here a few years ago and have very fond memories of this place. We're going to stay here for a couple of nights.
Yeah, well, they've got a really good campground here. They've got good facilities. Looking forward to, you guessed it, sausage roll. And you're going to have what?
I cannot wait to get my hands on a loaf of their loaded fruit toast. I mean, oh, I can't tell you how good it is.
The important delivery. We've been asked by the people at Leigh Creek to deliver 5 kilos of carrots to the bakery here at Farina, which we're going to do, because if you want to have carrot cake tomorrow, we've got to deliver it.
Only in the Outback, right? Anyway, happy to do a good deed. Okay guys, we're nearly there. Can't wait to show you around, and in particular, the history of this place is amazing. More to come on that.
Jerry, is the delivery for you? Oh, thank you, sir.
Your carrots.
Yes, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
So we're heading down to the campground now.
Yeah, so you can pay at the actual shop if you need to use a credit card, or apparently there's an honesty box down here.
How good is it when you're out on the road, you meet the loveliest people? Meet Daz and Leigh. They came over and said g'day to us in the Flinders Ranges. So good, and it was just such a lovely surprise to see them again camped up at Farina. We enjoyed a beautiful campfire together with a few good yarns. Nothing better.
Three things you must do while you're in Farina. The first one is a walk around the town centre. The second one is the railway. You can walk or drive from the township. And lastly, the cemetery and the war memorial. The land around what is now called Farina Township was first taken up as a pastoral lease in July 1859 on a government reserve known as the Gums. The first known residents arrived to take charge of the wells at Government Gums in early March 1876.
This is one great big fantastic story here at Farina. But do you know what? It's the little micro stories that absolutely fascinate me. Listen to this one. Here's a picture here on the information board, and it says, "A simple sport. Mrs. Elizabeth Chapman shooting at paddy melons at Farina circa 1930. How incredible is that?
The narrow gauge railway reached Farina in 1882, and the town became the centre of transporting stock to the southern markets and supplying outlying stations further north. The town flourished until the early 1900s, but with the extension of the railway to the north, it went into gradual decline, and the last residents left in 1967. Okay, Rob, just if you wouldn't mind just telling us story about this locomotive.
Okay, this locomotive is NSU, number 62. NSU means narrow gauge Salzer unit. It was one of 16 built in England and brought out in the early 50s. The reason we have this one here is that it was the last narrow gauge diesel to run out of Farina, so it's very important to us. And it was used by the Goss brothers to pull up all the narrow gauge rail from Alice Springs through to Port Augusta.
So how did you manage to get it here?
Okay, we got it from a steam town in Peterborough, and it was brought on a low loader, and we had 2 cranes, quite large cranes because this unit weighs 62 tonne. Shed's only been up about 2 weeks. It's not completed yet, but the aim is to finish it off and have floorboards, etc. This loco will be pushed inside, set up as a museum display so you can look inside through the windows, and the rest of the shed will contain memorabilia from the railways that used to run through Farina from 1882 to 1980.
So I've got to say, you know, these volunteers, they are fantastic. There's some hard work going on here. I'm a stranger, I come up and they're just happy to talk to me about it. I'll come back afterwards and we're going to paint the front red. You've got to film that, you've got to see it, you know, and the excitement, it's infectious. So I'm looking forward to seeing it painted, but for now we'll put the drone up and show you an overview of the old train and what they're doing here. So I've come back after a couple of days ago when they were doing the undercoats, so they said come back, have a look at when it's painted in its original colour. So here it is. But there is a dedicated group of people here who are trying to restore the old town, and they come through, there's an association, and each of them have got a job to do, rebuilding these old buildings. I think they're doing the post office at the moment. You know, I mean, it's a beautiful thing, you know, giving to the community, to do volunteering and to helping out and leaving a legacy. The volunteers come for 6 weeks a year, and the bakery is just now becoming so well known around Australia as a point for tourists to come and see. The bakery was restored into working order in 2010 after 80 years of disuse. It is now used as a working bakery each year during May, June, July, while the Farina Restoration Group work restoring the old ruins. So Barclay, can you just tell us about this place and how long it's been here?
I'm pretty sure this was built in 1888 and they baked in here for the people of the town. I think there was 30 houses and 100 people living here at that time, and obviously they needed a bakery, so they set up a bakery. So over here is the hot box. So I'll come in, I'll load that up at 8 o'clock at night with 4 of those logs down there.
Yeah.
This controls smoke going out and flame going across, and that'll get the smoke out and regulate the heat going through. A couple of loaves of bread still in there, but that there is a firewall, and it only goes halfway down. Heating up the bricks, yeah, heating up the bricks, and they stay pretty solid. And those over this side, it will cook faster. So I take stuff from over there and rotate it around when I've got room in the oven.
Morning everyone. Farina is just fascinating. Its history is so layered and so incredible. We've really enjoyed exploring here over the last couple of days.
Okay, so guess what, Tom?
What?
We're coming up to where the Birdsville Track meets the main road north, the Outback Highway, and just after that we've got Maree. So we'll go in there, fuel up, get some water, maybe some supplies, a few beers. Happy days.
Alrighty, so we're just coming into Maree now. We might pull up, have a coffee, and as Pete said, get some supplies.
So, yeah, so I walked in there and I said to him, can we get some water? And he said, yeah, no worries, $10. And he said, just drive in and just park outside the office. The hose is there. So if you're coming through, this is the best place to get water before you actually get on the Oodnadatta Track. So here we are. We are at the true beginning of the Oodnadatta Track, aren't we? There's the sign behind us. From here on in, it's dirt, dust, and camels.
And camels?
And camels.
And no doubt, lots of bumpity bumps, lots of corrugations. One of our followers said, oh yeah, look, good luck with the Oodnadatta. Look, you just got to do it. You got to ride the ride like everyone else. So we've stocked up at Maree. We're ready to hit the road. We're hoping to get into Coward Springs tonight just in time for a nice warm mineral spa. Bring it on.
Oh, we're going to make it. I'm going to be in that spa whether it's midnight. Absolutely.
Let's go.
Okay, see ya. This is not just a track. This track has been here for thousands of years.
Long before maps or fences, this route followed ancient Aboriginal song lines, trade and story paths walked by the Arabana, Aranda and Jerry peoples. And it linked sacred sites and vital mound springs bubbling up from the Great Artesian Basin, a lifeline in the desert.
And then in the 1870s, this track was chosen for the overland telegraph line and made a huge impact on a sway through this area. So the line itself ran from Adelaide right through to Darwin and was finally connected through to London. So they had a means of communication in the imperial days.
And a few decades later, steam took over and the great legendary Northern Railway was laid in. By 1891, the rails had reached Oodnadatta, turning it into a key outpost for freight, mail and adventure. When the line was finally closed and rerouted in the 1980s, it left behind echoes, water towers, station ruins, the incredible Algebuckina Bridge, all silent now, but so rich with story. It's remote, it's raw, and every dusty kilometre you're driving here through deep time, Aboriginal country, colonial ambition, and outback grit. So it's more than just an outback track, it's a whole story.
All right, first point of interest, a little place, a siding between the Oodnadatta Track and the Old Ghan Railway line. So basically it's just a water tank, and we talked about the old steam trains needing water regularly along their routes. So there's one that didn't make it. Bit of carnage, and I was just thinking maybe we should just kind of keep count of how many wrecks that we see along the way.
Yeah, the corrugations are something shocking, but so we're just going to pull over here just for a minute. I'm just going to jump in the van and just check to see that everything's a-okay in there. Alrighty, let's have a looky in here. Okay, alright. Yeah, alright, the table slid out a bit, just the pillows falling down, that's no trouble. Okay. Yeah, no, everything's looking pretty good. Just feels good to get out and check every now and then.
How was it?
Yeah, no problem at all. So we're driving on the sub track now. So there's the main track over there, which is horribly corrugated. This one's not too bad. It's a bit soft. Nothing to worry about. We're not going to get bogged or anything. Just keep the momentum up. But it's a much smoother ride.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes these roads end up getting wider and wider and wider when they don't grade them enough, because people just tend to keep pushing across and across into the sort of no man's land. So that's the situation we're finding now, that we're just driving on a sub road that doesn't even exist, but it's a lot smoother and it's a lot easier on the vehicles.
Don't you just love the bazaar? I mean, I love it. Love the juxtaposition of those two old aeroplanes just standing upright. They call it plain henge. Okay, that sign back there just said Coward Springs 62k. We would be travelling at about 20 k's an hour at the moment, so got a bit of a way to go. It's been really interesting, the road conditions. It is so variable, so you get these long stretches of about 100 metres of reasonably smooth riding, and then of course then you hit these really bad patches of really chopped up gnarly corrugations, so you just can't sit in there too comfortably and sit back. You've really got to be on point and keep an eye ahead at all times. And then of course what we're on at the moment is just sort of something that sits in between the two. So yeah, just chuffing along. Oh yeah, we're up to about 30k now. So yeah, we've got a little way to go. It's 3:30. See you down the track.
Copy, mate.
So they've got a couple of graders on the road and a fair bit of equipment happening ahead here. and we are just riding this smoothly graded road. The only corrugations now are the big tracks of the giant tyres ahead. It's fascinating. Anyway, we better keep at it.
Love coming through here with fresh grade, smooth as.
Oh my God, it doesn't get any better than this. Look, you know what? There is nothing more beautiful than a freshly graded road. We are flying along. It is absolutely beautiful. So we are now running along quite nicely at about 80k an hour. We're going to be in Coward Springs before we know it. Bring it on. So today we've come up from Farina up through Maree here, and now we've come right along to Lake Eyre South. And tomorrow we'll be heading up here to William Creek, and from there all the way up to Oodnadatta. Sun's going down, it's a sweet afternoon, smooth ride into camp. We're about 5 minutes from Coward Springs. So we are going to go pull in, find our site, grab a nice long hot shower, grab a meal, get the camp chairs out, enjoy the sunset. Great welcome. So we've just pulled into the shack or the office. Nice warm welcome from the host, and we're just following on him on his bicycle now. He's taking us into our site. Oh my God, it's going to be dangerous here. There's some beautiful date products, and there's a whole story about dates and the Afghan cameleers, you know, who brought them in.
Okay.
If you just swing around,
Yeah.
up there you can reverse back in against the alongside the fire bucket and the bench there.
Okay. So we get here fairly late, and this is our camp spot underneath these beautiful trees. We were only going to stay one night, but we've decided to stay 2 nights because it looks absolutely gorgeous. We've got a fire pit here, and I think we might cook dinner on the fire here tonight.
Well, g'day everyone. Wow, loving Coward Springs. It is just a little pocket full of surprise, and there's lots of flies at the moment anyway, never to worry. It is absolutely beautiful here. It is so well kept, it's so well run. And now we're heading off to explore.
Yeah, we're going to head up to the museum. So there's an old museum from a ruin that's been restored. So we'll head up there and we'll show you around.
In 1887, a bore was sunk at Coward Springs railway siding. Acres of nearly level tableland were turned in a few hours into a swamp. It is only the matter of a few weeks before miles of country will be covered with water. A wetland was in the making. For over a century, the wetland has taken shape according to the laws of nature. Today, water continues to flow from the bore through the natural spa and into the wetland.
Alrighty, so behind me are these date palms. Now, they were originally planted, or the first set were planted in 1898 by cameleers, by Afghan cameleers. And so what you see here is newer ones taking off suckers of the original ones that were planted here in 1898.
We have just been down to the Date Shack, which is a great little cafe. They do the best date scones, which we can vouch for because we've just devoured a few. We are William Creek bound this morning, heading northward. The road isn't too bad, a few corrugations, certainly not as rough as that little part between Maree and the Roxby Downs turnoff. So thoroughly enjoyed Coward Springs.
Yeah, hi guys. Look, we're only going to stay a night, and then we ended up staying 2 nights because it is literally so nice.
It is really an outback oasis there. The people there that run it are just so hospitable, just lovely people. It had a really good vibe, so we were pleasantly surprised. We feel nice and refreshed to keep on keeping on. The great Oodnadatta Track is something else. You just slowly wind your way through the landscape, and then now we are just on this huge open plain. We can see the dust flying up of the cars that are way in front of us. It is just something else. I mean, it's a great nothingness. We're absolutely loving it. Alrighty, so we're not far out of William Creek now. Corrugations are the worst, on the main track anyway. And quite clearly you can see ahead of us here, I'll give you some footage in a minute, there's just been this huge big fat side track cut through by everyone avoiding the corrugations. So we're just sort of gliding along there at the moment. We did hear that coming out of William Creek, heading south, corrugations are pretty sharp, pretty nasty. Anyway, we're nearly there. Alrighty, so we've just popped into the hotel, and you pay over the counter for your camping fees. $45 for a powered site up the back, or $35 for an unpowered site. So that's what we're going to do tonight. State of Origin's on, 8 o'clock. So we're going to go set up camp, enjoy the afternoon, and then head into the William Creek pub for a ripper of a night. G'day everyone.
Morning.
Well, here we are at William Creek. Had a great night last night. Everyone popped over to the pub and watched the State of Origin.
Sorry, New South Wales.
No, it was a great vibe, and they had the fireplace going. They had a huge, big screen TV, so it was just vibing. It was fantastic. Anyways, this morning, so we're on our way. We're going to hit the Oodnadatta Track again.
Yep, back on the track. So we're going to head up today towards the famous Pink Roadhouse and Oodnadatta itself. So we're looking forward to that. It's about 180 kilometres. The road is very rutted, so we'll see if we make it. So if we don't, we're just going to pull over the side of the road.
I mean, you say 180 k's, but we're travelling at like on average 20 to 30 k an hour some places.
Yeah, that'll be all day drive. So different train of thought. And so all it is about is getting there safely, isn't it?
Absolutely, but also there's a few points of interest to see along the way. So you know what, we'll see how we go. We'll let you know where we end up tonight. You've got to have your photo taken in front of these signs, right? It's part of the adventure.
Absolutely. You know, you look back on them with all those memories and we did the Oodnadatta Track.
Hey guys, we've got something to show you. All right, here it goes. Check this out.
So we'll see how we go.
What do you reckon? Let's go. We'll give it a shot. Okay, see you up the track. Driven past the turn-off on the left that takes you out to Coopapedy. So we're heading north, right up to Oodnadatta. So this morning's drive is just absolutely remarkable. It's a really smooth road. The roads are wider, probably more graded it seems, and just all around us, like from to the left to the right and as far ahead as we can see, it's just like this one great big smooth curve. It's like you're looking at the edge of the earth and it seems like we're sort of climbing up ever so slightly. It's the weirdest feeling. It's almost like as if, what, are we going to take off soon? It's just a beautiful sense of openness and space and vastness. And I think that's why we love coming out here. It's just a sensation that you get when you're travelling through really huge outback landscapes like this. Absolutely love it. Okay, so we've just pulled over on the side of the road. Don't ask me where, somewhere up the track in the middle of nowhere. So we've just pulled up for coffee. We've been driving for about an hour and a half now. Really good drive, listened to a couple of podcasts. And yeah, this is what we love, is just pulling up and just taking it in. Currently looking at a whole mob of cows over here, beautiful cattle. They're sort of getting up and moving along. Anyway, really lovely to see. Great morning for it. So just to the right of us, we've just spotted in the distance quite a large old ruins. We're following this little track in there. Hopefully we can actually turn around. I'm sure it'll be all right, but the track's pretty small. Anyway, it looks fascinating. Little did we know we were about to cross the old railway line as we're turning around to come back in here and have a look at these beautiful old ruins. Doesn't look like there's any signage, so we'll just have to enjoy and imagine. On the dirt, had a nice little bite to eat while we're there at the ruins. We're heading north and we're still aiming for Algebuckina Bridge. So we're now thinking we might even stay out here at this bridge. Oodnadatta is actually only 20 k's away. So we're thinking we might cruise through there to Maree and then on to our next camp spot, which we'll fill you in a bit more tomorrow about. Okay, what a sight. This bridge, this historic bridge, is much larger than we ever imagined. We're just pulling in now and we're just going to go down this little track and hopefully it'll lead us to the bridge. The construction of the Algebuckina Bridge took place between 1878 and 1891. This bridge, which spans the Niels River, showcases the engineering expertise that was required to extend the Old Ghan Railway to Oodnadatta. Up to 352 men were employed to build the bridge through a combination of daily work and piecework. Costing £60,000, the bridge consists of 19 31-metre spans and is the largest single bridge in South Australia. The bridge was officially opened for rail traffic from 8th of January 1892. It was strengthened in 1926 to accommodate heavier rail traffic and is listed on the Register of the National Estate as well as the State Heritage Register. This bridge was constructed by mostly unemployed labourers, many of whom had little experience in this type of work. Without machinery, they relied solely on horse carts, wheelbarrows, picks and shovels. The bridge features round cast iron columns imported from England, which were transported by train and erected with a trestle.
So this spot down by the waterhole is listed on Wiki. Any spots up around the bridge, Wiki has got no-go, you can't camp there. So if you're coming through, best spot to go down to where the waterhole is. So let's have a look.
Keep going, keep going, keep going, stop. How good is this? Yes.
I love it.
It's actually quite hot here. I think Pete mentioned it's 28 degrees. Let's get this awning out, get those chairs out and enjoy. Wow, a waterhole in the middle of nowhere. Man, this is a luxury out here. Pete and I are just having big moments of gratitude right now. And I'm just walking down to the water's edge just to have a closer look at it as the sun's starting to go down. Absolutely beautiful. I can hear fish jumping up and down the river there. There's a bit of bird life. And the sun's flickering through the gum leaves just there. Still as anything. Beautiful. Yeah.
Having steak tonight,
Fantastic.
mushrooms and roast vegetables, so pretty excited to get the fire cooking. But yeah, just enough time to sit down and have a drink and watch it just slowly go to embers.
Yeah, looking good. Rightio. What's the story behind this bit, Pete?
Well, I like collecting wood, and I like remember where I get them from because it just gives me good memories. So this one's from Arckaringa Station, and it's that beautiful red gum. So that one's a cracker.
And if I remember correctly, that burnt absolutely beautifully too.
Yeah, there's one in there now. So it's slowly going to sort of take control of the whole fire because it burns so well, where the rest of them will slowly give up the ghost. But this is my favourite.
Righto, what's this bit? And where did you get that? I didn't know you had that bit. Have you had that hiding?
Yeah, well, this one's my wood chopping block, so if I get really desperate tonight, I'm going to sacrifice it. But yeah, I've had this for years. This has chocked up 3 or 4 vans. This has been underneath the front of the van, holding it up. Yeah, good memories of this one. That's probably my fave, but I'll desperately try to keep it.
That might get the spotlight tonight, hey?
No, I want to keep it, but the steak comes first, so if I need it, I'll sacrifice it.
The things you do. Not a bad spot to do it.
Absolutely.
G'day everyone. Beautiful morning here at Leigh Creek. We're just going to pack up. Pete's just packing up the gear now. And then we're going to head up to Oodnadatta. I know it's a very small township. We're going to stock up on a couple of supplies if we can get them up there, some more diesel and petrol. And then we're excited because we're going to go out to the Painted Desert. We'll be staying at Arckaringa Station. So I think it's about a 90k drive out there. So hopefully it'll take just under a couple of hours drive, and so looking forward to seeing this landscape, particularly from an artist's point of view. Apparently it just looks like a beautiful palette of earthy colours and tones, like a swirling marble colour palette. Just cannot wait to get up there and see it. Anyway guys, we've got a bit of a drive ahead, so we'll see you up the road. So, Oodnadatta, it is considered to be really remote, but it's also known as the gateway to the Simpson Desert.
Yeah, it was the terminus for the Old Ghan Railway, which was sort of the connecting place for all the remote rural communities.
And of course, the old famous pink pub up there was the location for the filming of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, and I'm sure we all remember that famous iconic movie. So the word Oodnadatta comes from an Aboriginal word which means yellow blossom of the mulga. Okay, so we're about half an hour out of Oodnadatta and we just cannot find any reprieve from these corrugations. Pete's just swerving all over the road. He goes from the left to the right, just trying to find a good line. It is not happening. Anyway, we shall just keep pottering along. It's quite interesting how, you know, you can be going fairly fast, and because the way the light skims across the corrugation, sometimes you just don't even know they're coming. So all eyes are peeled and we will just mosey along into Oodnadatta fairly carefully. Okay, so we've just come up to a T intersection. We've turned right. We're about 5 minutes out of Oodnadatta.
And I am seriously over these corrugations. They have been shocking. It's like, yeah, get me into the pub and have a beer.
Yeah, I don't know what we're going to find, so we'll soon find out. We made it!
Ping pong, here we are.
Good morning from downtown Oodnadatta. Wow, well this has been an awesome place to stay. We had to bunker down here for 3 or 4 nights while we waited for our replacement drone to arrive in the post. So luckily Pete replaced it as soon as we had the incident with it about 20 k's out of Oodnadatta before we came in here. Pete got straight on the Starlink and ordered a new one. Gee, it's incredible. DJI are so impressive. So we got up here by the Thursday, thank goodness, which was yesterday. So we're leaving today. I just wanted to show you this free camp. Look, really, the town folk are great putting this on. It's nothing flash, but it's really tidy and there's plenty of space. So just up here behind us is the old museum. It's fascinating. What you need to do is grab the key from, I think, either the pub or the roadhouse, and you can go and let yourselves in and have a walk through there. And you can learn about all the multi-layered histories out here in Oodnadatta. So whilst we've been here, we've got to know the publican really well, first name basis now. So it's always really nice to go down and support the locals when you're in a small town like this, staying in their free camps. Hop down to the roadhouse and the petrol station now.
Yeah, so it's our last port of call. Got everything there. I mean, there's a cafe there, and then they've got a big workshop for flat tyres and minor repairs.
No, it's fantastic, and the little post office, gee, they do a good job. It's all tied into the roadhouse. Fruit and veg, basic, you know, little selection of meats, dry goods. They've got some basic camping gear in the shop. We're excited. So today we are going to be heading out to Arckaringa Station. What's out there? Something that we've been so excited to see.
This is the one that we have never been to, the Painted Desert. We are so excited to see it.
How long does it take to get out there, Pete?
Well, it looks good, you know, on Google Maps it looks like about 80 kilometres.
Right.
But from our experience, it'll probably be 2 hours.
Yeah.
The roads are really hard and tough and rutted.
Hey, look, we'll see you out there. So excited for this, cannot wait.
This is a special place in Australia.
Alrighty, let's go. Okay, so we're heading southward out of Oodnadatta, but not for long, because coming up here we're going to turn right onto the Painted, whoop, just went over a cattle grid. We're going to turn right onto the Painted Desert Road, and it'll take us, well, it says about an hour and a quarter, but we're travelling at about 60 k's an hour at the moment, so it'll take us a little bit longer to get out there. Wow, how quickly the landscape changes. So we're heading in a southwest direction, and we're just looking out either side of the gravel road that we're travelling on, and there's just like, it's just covered in massive layers of like red gibberstone. It's really quite beautiful in a way. Have a look at this. So you never know who you're going to run into, do you, in the Outback? So Pete and I were walking down the street one morning to grab a coffee from the roadhouse, and lo and behold, look who's there. It's the Zone Tag-Along Tour with their, I think they've got 6 or 7 rigs in tow there. So yeah, we had a good chin wag, didn't we?
Yeah, it was nice to see them because we'd been following them on the socials and hear some of the stories they've got to say. So very pleasant surprise. They're only there for about half an hour. Yeah, so if you're interested in where they travel to and what they're up to, you'll see it on their YouTube, which is Zone RV. You just Google that and check them out. I've just pulled over because haven't ever seen country like this. There's nothing. So I've just got to get the drone up. I'm so excited. I mean, we haven't hit the Painted Desert, but this road in this country is spectacular.
Okay, so I'm just getting out because I wanted to show you what I mean by gibberstone. I only learned about that term only a couple of days ago when we were coming up the track, and I really wanted to know more about it. So yeah, gibberstone, this is it here. This is it. Just feels soft, smooth stone. It's almost like they've been tumbled too. And they've got all sorts of tones of rust red and just gorgeous natural earthy colours. Hectares and hectares of it. Yeah, so when Pete puts the drone up in a minute, what you're going to see, all that red from a bird's eye point of view, that's it. So we're now heading directly towards the Painted Desert. Now up there in the distance, we can see the mesas, like the mountaintops and the, you know, just the outlines of those shapes, and the pictures of those outcrops that we've seen on video online are now starting to become a reality. We can see them with our own eyes. They are in the distance, and it's funny, it seems like we're almost there, but then you go over this other little rise and it's like, oh, we've still actually got a long way to go. It's that kind of feeling. Anticipation is absolutely building. Bit of a rough spot coming through here. We're coming through a really large creek bed, dry creek bed crossing as you're coming into Arckaringa Station. And the corrugations are really deep and really wide. The only way to get around them is to just fly high on the side of the road. So sort of driving along on a bit of an angle at the moment. Anyway, we're getting there. Yeah, I'm just looking at the van now. It just stops if you can avoid any of those really big corrugations, you know, it just minimises, hopefully, you know, less things happening inside the van.
So, hang on for a second. So I've dropped the tyre pressure now down to 20 psi on the caravan, and about 24 on the front of the Ford, and about 26 to 28 on the rear axle. It's a cushioning effect. You can feel it just taking up and absorbing a lot of these pressure points in the corrugations.
Oh my goodness. Never seen anything like it. This is absolutely out of this world. Well, so here we are.
Yeah, absolutely. First look out. Come on, let's go and check it out.
It looks so much bigger than what I thought.
It's just sensational.
Incredible. Folks, just have to say that the track between the Painted Desert Hills to Arckaringa Station, simply put, is rough as guts. So just allow yourselves like double to triple the amount of time to get from there down to the station. I'm just really glad that we had no deadlines and we're coming in before dark, because yeah, it's an absolute shocker. Just saying. So just be prepared. Anyway, we're looking forward to getting into camp. We're coming close to the station now. Looking forward to a really nice, restful night. Pete's got a nice load of firewood tucked away, so we're hoping to get another campfire going tonight. See you there. Okay, so we're here at the homestead. We've just got to go and check in first before setting up camp and pay our fees. It's good to be here. Good morning everyone. As you can see, we're getting rugged up. We're heading out to, I think it's called Batterby Mountain or the Batterby Lookout in the Painted Desert this morning because we just want to be able to see where the light's going to fall on that great big mountain form that we saw on the way in. Alright, so I think we've got everything. Pete's just grabbing the tripod and some camera gear, packing it in the car. Okay, let's go. So here we are, we've arrived at the lookout. And you can see behind me there is this beautiful, beautiful, big long line of orange sitting just on the base of the horizon. And yeah, so glad we did this.
Light come bigger and bigger and expand out, and the shadows will come across the valley, and then the sun will finally hit the mountain over there. So yeah, the morning is crisp, clear, and it's very fresh, but it makes you feel so alive to be out here this time of morning.
Okay, so their light is just starting to touch the top of the mountain there behind us now, and it's starting to glow. It's just, never seen anything like this.
Oh, it's exciting. It's just place where you can come to and you just stand still and everything happens around you. The light is amazing. It is cold. It's around about -1 degrees here at the moment.
Fingertips are
And
falling off.
trying to control the drone with these fingers, it's cold, but you just feel the energy in this place.
Incredible. The land down here just in front of us, like, it's just like someone's like poured like 3 containers of paint and it's just swirled it with their finger all over the land. It's just like this great big piece of art. Anyway, guys, we're going to chuck the drone up and take you on a flight. Let's go. Light's getting quite bright and clear. We're looking over to those mountains and we've just recognised that the light, the colour, the definition of the landscape is so sharp. It's like cinematographic without even putting a camera on it. It's just the clarity out here. There's no air pollution. It is absolutely remarkable. So the people you run into, so we've just finished filming this beautiful slice of painted desert, and some people come walking up the track, and it was just the most lovely chat. Steve and Eliza, thank you so much for saying g'day to us, because
Thanks, guys.
we love it. Like, we're out here alone a lot of the time. We put out these YouTubes, that's our joy. But to meet people and actually get real life feedback and encouragement, I can't tell you how much that means to us. So thanks from the bottom of our hearts for coming up to say g'day, guys. Anyway, we're leaving you up there now. Hope you enjoy that beautiful walk up through those mountains. We're going to head over here now to just have one last look at the painted desert before we wrap up. So guys, that's a wrap up for this episode. We hope you've had just as much fun as we have. It's been incredible in so many ways.
Oh, yes, it's been epic. I think the thing that I love the most is the history, the Old Ghan Railway and how they built it.
All the different types of travellers, the people you meet along the way, you know, even talking to the publicans at Oodnadatta and the shopkeepers. And it's also about travelling through these remote, vast landscapes. No, there's not a lot out here. Yes, that's why we love it. And we love it because it's a feeling that you get. It's a sensation. It's a contrast to what you see on the coastlines of Australia. And I think that that is what we keep looking for.
Is just have the belief to do it. We just believe that we can do it, and we just go out there and do it, and we love it. And yes, you know, it's all glamorous on the TV, and we have some days, don't we?
Oh, we have a lot of those.
You know, and there's
days.
a lot of planning that go into it.
Yeah.
But it's worth it. It's just so worth it. Whether you go for a month or 6 weeks, a year, or like us full time, we just love it, and we just hope and encourage you to get out there and see Australia, because it is seriously magnificent.
We have a lot of messages coming through from people that aren't able to travel for various reasons, and there's other people who watch us from overseas. Hi Auntie Jan, we love your support a lot. Thank you for always watching us and sending your messages. It means the world. But that to us means a lot too, that what we create here, out here in these landscapes, is really touching all sorts of people.
So we'll see you out there. There's more to discover. There's more places we're going to take you, and we are so excited. So thanks for watching.
Take care, guys. See you in the next one. Out here in the middle of nowhere with all that space, silence and red dust around us, it's easy to feel small, but never more alive than ever. Why do we keep coming back to these remote tracks and wide open spaces? Maybe it's the adventure, the chance to see something new, or maybe it's the quiet, the kind of stillness that lets you just breathe and sync with the wild landscape. In that nothingness you find everything. Freedom, connection, wonder, and the simple joy of being right here, right now. That's why we keep hitting these dusty roads and chasing those sunsets and meeting kindred souls. No matter what walk of life you're on, there's a common thread amongst us all. It's called getting out there, doing it, seeking that sense of adventure. Thanks for coming along for the ride. Until next time, stay inspired, stay safe, and as always, happy adventures. See you in the next one.